All right, you guys, welcome back. Today's topic is will we be married in heaven? Today I'm coming from Matthew 22:30. And just to give you a little context, this right here is so good. I was reading this morning, and the context behind this is it's the group called the Sadducees, I believe is how you say it in the Bible. And so these guys are like following Jesus, and they're basically trying to continue to trip Jesus up, right? Asking him about the afterlife, asking him about who he is, and that's pretty much what this is all about, right? And so they get to this point in the scripture where they start asking Jesus. They like, well, because they don't believe in the afterlife. They don't believe that you could be resurrected. They only believe in the beginning of the Bible, but they don't believe in the second half, right? And so they're telling Jesus, like, they're trying to test him, trying to trip him up, and they ask him, they're like, okay, so they're going off this Old Testament thing that was actually a rule back then. So in the time of Moses, what because lineage was so important, they used to say that, like, say a brother has he has a wife, right? And he's birthed children, but he hasn't birthed a son yet. Well, in order to keep the lineage, because we know the lineage was important, then the brother would have to marry that wife to continue that name and to continue the legacy, right? And so now they're bringing this up to Jesus, and they're trying to like press what he's gonna say. And so Jesus answers them, and he lets them know, like, hey, y'all don't know the full totality of the Bible clearly, because none of that even matters. And this is where Jesus addresses marriage in heaven, okay? And so in Matthew 22:30, he says, at the resurrection, people will neither marry nor be given in marriage. They will be like angels in heaven. So Jesus lets them know that when we get to heaven, nobody's going to be married or pertaining or potentially getting married. That the way that we love in heaven, the way that we live in heaven is going to be totally different. And I just think this is interesting, and I wanted to talk about it a little bit. I thought this would be an interesting topic because it puts a lot of things into perspective, right? And what I mean by that is that love is different on earth than it is in heaven. To a lot of us, we're in a place where if you do not have earthly love, if you do not get married, people look at you like something is wrong, right? And granted, or we want to get married, so we have this burning desire. And I think that the desire is a good thing, it's a God thing, and it's something that is okay to have. But when we look at it in the full perspective, the love that we have here on earth with the person that we marry is only temporary, right? And the love that we have in heaven is going to be eternal. And so what happens is sometimes we focus on the love that we want here. And again, I want love too. I'm a lover's girl. Like that used to be my social media handle, like a lover's girl. I love love. I love genuine love, right? But sometimes we can get so consumed with this that we're just trying to find that love, try to find the person we're supposed to be with, and we miss the love that's going to be eternal. At the end of the day, the first romance, the deepest romance we should have is with Christ, because that's where we're going to spend our whole entire rest of our life. That's where we're going to spend eternity. Now, when we find love on this earth, what is the purpose of finding love on this earth? It's so that we can walk out our mission together. And so when we are thinking about love in terms of earthly love, the whole purpose of it is to be able to walk closer and walk with somebody on the path to Christ. Does that make sense? And so even when we're thinking of this love on the earth, it should be shifting, or our perspective should be different. It shouldn't be that we got love, we love this person because of the money they have, or we love this person because of all the things they can do for us. Like, those are additional things, but the main thing, or the main purpose that should be driving us in this marriage, or the marriage, the relationship that we're in, is, are they going to bring us closer to Christ? Are they going to reflect Christ? Are we going to do the same for them? Because ultimately, when we finish that union and that union separates, we have to go to the main union, the eternal union, which is Christ. And so the best thing we can do is find someone who can sharpen us, who can prepare us for that. And I think that will shift our relationships, right? And so I just wanted to talk about that today, because I'm like, man, it's so tempting for us to focus on love first, and then try to say, once we find love, we're going to find Christ. But it should be the other way around. And while we're focusing on finding Christ, we will find someone who loves Christ, and we can walk this out with. And that just reminds me again of the famous scripture that we all know, or if you haven't, you're going to hear it today. And then it's going to be like that thing that just keeps going, boop, boop, popping up for you is Matthew 6:33, and it says, "But seek His kingdom and his righteousness, and all these things will be given to you as well." So the first thing that we should be seeking is God's kingdom. The first thing we should be seeking is God's righteousness, right? How do we align with God? And then all those things will be added. When we seek God, when we sit at His feet, when we allow the word to transform, to renew us, then that's how all of those things get added. What things? Marriage, success. Like, that's how, when we seek the kingdom, we learn how to raise children. When we seek the kingdom, we learn how to make money, keep money, invest money. All the answers to life, to a successful life, are actually in the Bible. So if we seek that first, we will have a strong, firm foundation. But if we seek the relationship or the success first, then what happens is you see people living a life where it's falling apart. They're like, I got the fame or I got the money, but I lost it. It's because they don't have the foundation. So that was something I just wanted to share today. It's like, take care of your soul first and let the love of the world or your marriage or your children or anything be secondary. Because when you take care of your soul, when you take care and you seek the kingdom first, all those other things have a foundation that's unbreakable. And so then you really find true success for here and for the rest of life. And I just thought that was so good because it's been plenty of times where I'm living in this world, right? And like I said, I'm a lover's girl, and I could be seeking God on a deeper level, and then all of a sudden I find love, or it's a potential for love, and I kind of flip the pyramid, right? I make the love of the earth first, and then I start spending less and less time with God. But what God is saying is, we spend more time with Him, then it's going to trickle down. It's going to be a foundation for any love that we find, because at the end of the day, there's not going to be a marriage. We don't get married and go to heaven. I know, people say stuff like that, but this is the word we're talking about here, that there's not going to be there's not going to be any marriages in heaven. There are not going to be new marriages in heaven, that we're going to have a new love, and that new love encompasses God. So that's just something to really recenter. I'm not telling us give up on love. Y'all know I love love. And I definitely love love that is real and centered in God. But I'm just saying, let's make sure that we are seeking the kingdom first, and that's how you find it. And the last thing I'll talk about is I get a lot of different suggestions or conversations that I'm in, right? And or I see online, and they say things like, oh, if you want to find a man, go here. If you want to find a man, go to what do they say? Like a coffee shop, or go to a hotel bar, or go to these things. And I've been recently learning that if you want to find not even a man, but if you want to align with people who are aligned with Christ, go to places where people are doing that. And a good place to go, I'll leave this as, this is like a pointer right here, is I've been recently volunteering with my church. So I volunteer, and I go to, like, I've been at a couple football games where I'm serving food and doing those things. And what's interesting, or what's been interesting about this experience, is I've met men, or different, even women, or like potential friends, right? At these places, serving God, serving God's people, but not in a traditional way where it's like trying to go to church and find somebody, or trying to go to the bar and find somebody, but a place where you're just in your purpose and you're just serving, and you just so happen to find these people. So again, me seeking the kingdom is where I'm running into like-minded potential lovers, but also potential friends. And so I just want to encourage you all, because I know we all want love. We all want, to experience that earthly love, and there's nothing wrong with that. But keep in mind, being mindful of how you can do this in a way that's seeking the kingdom first, versus seeking love and hoping to run into the kingdom. I hope that makes sense, you guys. Just a quick message today. I love you guys. Comment below and let me know, what are your thoughts on this? What are your thoughts? Did you think that once you get married, it's going to heaven? How are you managing seeking the kingdom and potentially opening your life up to love? And any other things, just share your thoughts down below, you guys. Thank you for watching this video. Like, comment, share, subscribe. I love you guys, and I'm out.